This is Doris, Florida.
DeLand, Florida. All right, you're going to have to really yell at us.
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, much, yes.
Okay. I was wondering about the death of the dog. Apparently it was from some kind of contact with the alien?
Yes, it was.
Right. And that was through clothing?
Well, the dog had grabbed his forearm and was literally tearing into the flesh of its forearm.
Mm-hmm.
And what I saw was almost as if he grabbed the nose of the dog, ripping it back, and then it started to almost implode.
Mm-hmm. Well, was this some kind of toxin through the hand or something?
I do not have a clue.
But I was wondering if the touch was that toxic, what effect it would have on you if you touched it.
Well, apparently it didn't do anything to me after it fell to the ground.
Right. Maybe because it was dead, it wasn't toxic anymore or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It also might have been a natural defense mechanism of the suit or some kind of weapon. It didn't necessarily have to be a toxin. It could have been many other things. You're dealing with a whole new type of technology that is far beyond anything we know or understand at this time.
Right. So when you cut through the suit, then, wouldn't it have that same effect?
It didn't.
Yeah.
The only thing it did was reseal itself.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
All right, thank you very much for the call, and take care. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with Dr. Reed and Robert Wraith. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Art?
Yes. Turn your radio off, please, right away.
That's what I'm doing. Yes, I have an incident that happened to me in the likeness.
Where are you, sir?
At Marshfield, Wisconsin.
All right. And it was like this?
Well, okay, in 1967. Okay, I was deer hunting. Well, not deer hunting. I was just going through the woods with my .303 British jungle carbine. And I was by an old railroad spur, and I was just stalking. It was prior to rifle season, in the fall of the year, just that I wanted to walk through the woods and do the experiment like that in preseason. And I got into where an old railroad spur was, and the ditch was, suddenly the terrain, the foliage, went and grew over it. It was in a great, big, really thick tag elder swamp area near a river.
Okay, we've got to hurry here.
Yeah, and anyway, I saw several different aliens. There was like a female and two little offspring. There's about 75 yards away, and they were a deeper green rather than the tag elder foliage.
In the woods?
Yes. At the intersection by N and A in Wood County, Wisconsin. And anyway, I was studying through. I wasn't for sure what I was seeing, or the wind was blowing back and forth, but I could see that, like, as the female. And okay, this would be the greens, like as or the grays with pointed ears and everything.
Right. Have you seen the pictures we've got on the website?
No.
So then you can't compare. So you can't compare. All right, sir. Listen, this sounds like something we need to get from you in open lines at another time. So we'll do that. And while we're on the subject of the alien creature, guess it's an alien. Don't know what. I've never seen anything like that on Earth, Doctor. Have you?
Not American-made.
Well, it's funny you should bring that up. There are those who say that this alien looks, their words, suspiciously like the alien in the movie Fire in the Sky, the story of Travis Walton. I've interviewed Travis Walton. And in fact, Travis did describe a creature that looks very much like the creature in the picture. Now, there's two ways to look at that. The cynics would say, you got the props from the movie somehow, and you used them. The believers would say, well, that's what Travis described, and now we've got a photograph. I suppose I ought to go to Travis and say, hey, Travis, is this what you saw?
I'd like to know if it is what he saw. But I have heard and read this on the web since we were on earlier. And what I have to say to those people is it may look like a prop when you look in the picture.
Yep.
But it sure doesn't when you're about 8 inches from it.
Believe me, that I can fully understand.
What was the obelisk part of something that Travis Walton saw?
Travis Walton saw a large craft. I take it you've never seen the movie.
No, I have not.
Travis Walton saw a very large craft indeed, and he was foolish enough to run under it, and that was the last Travis Walton was seen for quite some time. And when he did return, I mean, there were like 5 guys involved in this incident, and they all took and passed lie detector tests twice. And so that creature described by Travis was looked very much like the one that we've got pictures of up on the web. So anyway, west of the Rockies, you're on the air with Robert Wraith and Dr. Reed. I'm Art Bell. Hi.
Hey, I'd just like to say I just finally got on to listening to
I can barely hear you, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. One of my friends just turned me on to listen to you guys, and I think you are absolutely fabulous.
Well, we're different.
You're different, yes, definitely different.
What can we do for you?
Yeah, I was just calling in regards to, you said people might not believe you that he had him in the freezer for 3 weeks, but if he did somehow regenerate himself by keeping him in the freezer, he would have slowed down his metabolism.
Was it 3 weeks?
No, it was a total of 10 days.
Oh, I thought you said 3 weeks.
No, it was 3 days from the day we brought him home until I saw it move.
Yeah, and that still would have slowed down his metabolism on him being able to regenerate himself.
Well, you know, we're thinking in human terms. And again, what do we know about a creature's physiology from a completely different place or time or dimension?
Yeah, and if you are speaking in human terms, the human body does have the ability to regenerate itself, such as if you were to cut your finger, you can regenerate it, the cells.
That's true.
And by being exposed to extreme cold,
yes,
your body will slow down its regeneration process.
That's absolutely true. Thank you. But again, that relates to us. We're thinking in human terms. It's a natural thing for us to do. Remember, we don't know physically anything about this creature at all, except how different it appears. First,
I was just going to add, Art, that what we do know...
Hello? Yes, hold on, caller. Thank you.
What we do know is that it was human-like. It obviously was breathing our atmosphere. It had 2 eyes. It had a mouth.
Yep.
It had a skull very similar to a human skull, little different dimensions. And it was bleeding.
There's no question about that.
There was cranial fluid leaking from the wound, not only blood, but also cranial fluid, which is a little different circumstance. But
yeah, I should also tell the audience that in the videotape, which I have seen, which is not yet released, the doctor does an examination on the creature, and it's pliable. In other words, he was able to force the mouth open, force the eyelids, it seemed like, open, touch, and you could see the texture and the touch of the skin, so it wasn't any plastic dummy, that's for damn sure, whatever it was. Caller?
Yes, sir.
Where are you?
My name's Greg. I'm from El Cajon, California.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, how are you tonight?
Hanging in there.
Good, sir. I've loved listening to this story. It's intriguing. You said initially the incident, you were in the area for 3 hours?
Approximately 3 hours.
Approximately 3 hours. I knew you were ill, and I know it was a grave situation. How did you muster the strength or the courage, or I don't know what you were thinking, to stay in that area for almost 3 hours? How did you manage to do that?
It was totally unconscious.
Unconscious.
Believe me, if I could have gotten up and walked out of there and run home, I would have. But I felt sick at one point, exhausted at another.
Yes, sir.
Picked myself up, started to walk away, and one thing would lead to another, and I'd actually have to sit down to regain some strength. was a matter of not wanting to be there, but needing, I think, to be there just to regain my own strength and will to leave.
It was almost like you had lead shoes on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, well, it's an intriguing story, and you seem very credible to me.
Thank you.
All right, sir. I appreciate your call. Thank you. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with Robert Wraith and Dr. Reed. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you?
I am in Illinois.
Illinois. All right.
My name is Ed.
Ed, okay, we don't have a whole lot of time. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you. In 1985, I witnessed 2 aliens outside my bedroom window, and my friends didn't believe it. So, just to make a long story short, I rigged up a videotape, and I took some pictures, and I made it look like something actually took place, and they were totally impressed.
So what are you saying? You faked pictures?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Well, nobody's saying things cannot be faked.
It was fun, but what actually happened did happen to me. But I just...
so you're saying you faked pictures to verify a story that you had not documented?
It is actually documented, but I just did it as a prank just to have fun.
You did it to substantiate what had happened.
Yes. And they loved it. And then, of course, I told them later that it was butch wax and paper mache, and it was just fun.
Well, glad you had fun. Is that what you think is being done here?
I do not believe that at all.
So you have you seen the photographs, by the way?
No, I have not.
Uh-huh.
I just had fun with it, and it's an incredible story. I listen all the time, and it almost makes me, I'm shaking right now, just reliving my experience.
That I understand. Thank you very much. West of the Rockies, you're on the air with Dr. Jonathan Reed and Robert Wraith. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Hi there. Where are you?
Welcome back. Thank you very much for returning to the air.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Of course, for the doctor, it actually falls in line with the last caller. I heard him last week. I believe it was last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I found him very credible. And tonight, I have a strange sense that, the man, to me, seems to be telling the truth. Or at least what he believes to be the truth. I was wondering if you can give him just a minute to talk to the audience. Sort of a one-on-one thing, and just, sort of bare his soul, so to speak. Tell us exactly, wow, now I'm at a loss for words. A little nervous, I apologize.
That's all right.
But I know I really, in my own heart, know the man's telling the truth.
Thank you.
And,
that was also my impression.
Yeah, I really do believe it. And I think that, especially like what the last caller saying is like, some people are not sure, but the man has definite honesty in his voice. And if he can just speak to the audience, directly and somehow try to convince some of the people who don't believe him, because this is nuts. This actually happens to real people, even doctors.
I have something to say about that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Art.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, doctor.
Thank you, sir. I'm just a normal guy. I was in the right place, what I consider to be the wrong time. I didn't want this to happen. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be doing this. But somebody, if they have this kind of experience, has a responsibility to bring this out. Because there's a lot of people out there that have seen things that are afraid.
I know.
Afraid to come forward.
I know.
And they've got possibly evidence too. And they've been told not to bring it out and not to show it. And possibly threatened, or who knows, even worse. I know what I've been through.
Have you been threatened, doctor, other than followed and nearly run off the road? Have you been directly threatened?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes, I have.
All right. We're at the top of the hour, so everybody hold on. We'll come back. I definitely want to hear about that. Dr. Reed has been threatened. Well, as he said, we've only heard about a fifth of what actually occurred. You're listening to the account of Dr. Jonathan Reed and Robert Wraith, who documented it and is writing a book about it. I'm Art Bell, and this is Coast to Coast AM.